People in Hiroshima are marking 76 years since the world's first atomic bombing. An annual ceremony will take place Friday morning at the city's Peace Memorial Park. Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide and representatives from about 90 countries will attend what will be a more subdued event because of coronavirus measures. The number of people in attendance will be about 800, less than 1/10 the size before the pandemic. A list of more than 320,000 victims will be placed inside a cenotaph. It includes the names of people who survived the bombing but have died over the past 12 months. Participants will offer a moment of silence at 8:15 a.m. That's the exact time the atomic bomb was dropped on August 6, 1945. It killed about 140,000 people by year's end and exposed many more to harmful radiation. This year's ceremony comes weeks after 84 people won a lawsuit and were officially recognized as hibakusha, or survivors. The court upheld their claim that they suffered health problems after being exposed to radioactive rain outside of an area designated by the government. Hiroshima Mayor Matsui Kazumi will deliver a peace declaration at the ceremony. He is expected to urge the government to join a UN treaty that bans nuclear weapons. The treaty went into force in January. Nuclear powers, as well as Japan and other countries protected by the U.S. nuclear umbrella, have not signed it. An NHK survey of Hiroshima's survivors has found that more than half hope their personal records will be kept in public institutions as visual reminders of their experiences. NHK polled 50 survivors known as hibakusha. Half of them said they own materials related to the bombing that they want handed down to future generations. They include diaries, photos of deceased family members, and testimonies they gave at international conferences for the elimination of nuclear weapons. But some respondents said they had gotten rid of any materials that reminded them of what they suffered. More than 80% of the respondents named the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum as an appropriate place to store such records. This 85-year-old survivor, who has long supported fellow hibakusha living in foreign countries, keeps letters from them and essays by children about what they learned.
Without our personal records, our calls over the years to eliminate war and nuclear weapons will disappear. We hibakusha don't live that long, but the records will remain as heritage.
Analyzing materials after a long time has passed can shed light on different aspects of an incident. The records of atomic bomb survivors are unforgettable.
An expert on archival science says prompt efforts are needed to record the hibakusha's views, create a system to sort and store their records, and ensure funding. A curator at the Hiroshima Peace Museum says one potential challenge is storage, as the museum runs out of space. But he adds cooperating with related organizations could lead to solutions to make sure the survivors' stories are never forgotten. And from 8 a.m. Japan time, we will take you live to Hiroshima for our coverage of the annual memorial ceremony in a special edition of NHK Newsline. Hiroshima Peace Memorial Ceremony, 76 years on. So please stay tuned to that.